Okay, right. Okay, this is the next tutorial for pre-production. Okay, and this is concerning draft textual content. So again, this is for electronic media, EM6, and also for print media, PR5, draft textual content text. Again, found in task 3 pre-production folder. Right, draft textual content. In media, basically, when media products and text are produced, text isn't just written straight into a website or into a print document. It goes through a number of processes in order for the text to be 100% accurate. And this is something called proofreading. So what you need to do, guys, I want to see that you produce at least 2 drafts for your textual content for the article. So the first draft is going to be your rough draft. It's going to be a draft where it's probably going to be a lot of your thoughts. It may not flow very well together. There may be some problems with the way in which some of the grammar and spelling are used, etc., etc., within the document. And what you can do when you've got that first version is that you're going to read through it and you're going to edit it and you're going to make changes. So you're going to do your first version. You're going to save it, okay, and then you're going to do a second version. You're going to do your second version in Word. Okay, and we're going to have a blank document. And what we're going to do in here within our second version, let me just find a document that we can look at. So here's a document that I've got up on screen. We can see it here. We can see that here it is, and we're going to proofread it to make sure that it's 100% right. So let's just make this a bit bigger so we can see what is going on here, so you can see the text. Get the text on the screen. Okay, so guys, what we want to do to proofread it, what we do is we want to do something called track changes. This will allow us to keep our original document and to make changes to it and to produce a final version. So, do track changes. Oops, just there. Okay, and when we see that when we type in here, it gives us something that gives it underlined. See there? SS down there. It's underlined. Okay, now let's have a look at the track changes on here, because they're a bit different than it when they are on the PC. Tools. Okay. Right. Make sure we've got accept or reject changes on as well, so that when we go through this. Okay, we have to do it last time, eh? Oh well. Okay, so we see that adds it in red. So the first thing we want to do when we proofread anything is we want to read it. We want to read it from the top to the bottom to make so it makes sense. Work never makes sense if you read it in your mind. So the first thing you want to do when you proofread it is read it out loud to yourself. The next thing, and also when you're reading it, you want to proofread it in terms of punctuation. So make sure you're including the punctuation. For example, for my MEST 2 exam piece, I plan to follow the lifestyle brief. I will create 3 pages for a health-oriented website aimed at a primary audience of 13 to 17-year-olds. Also, look, there you go. There's our first mistake, and I saw that, and this has been submitted. So let's delete that. So it adds a comment there when track changes are on. Done. Right. Okay. The next thing we want to do is we want to look through this and we want to double check names and numbers on here. So let's have a look. Is there anything on here relating to Frank? I went on to Frank. There you go. Frank's the website, but look, it's in lowercase. Okay. The next thing to look for is to look for inconsistencies within the text. This is things like small capital letters, if things are italic, if they're bold. I can see there's a bit that's bold there, so we need to get rid of that. Okay, and we see there's some italics there. Let's remove those. Okay, the next thing after we've done that is any small capital letters in there, or any big capital letters you can see in there. Oh yeah, there's a capital letter there. The next thing to do is we look at the fonts. Anything different in the fonts? So the font's the same on this. I know that 2 different fonts. This one's in Times New Roman, this one's in Arial. So change that to Arial. Next thing to do, look at spacing. To look at spacing, you have to do this. You have to click on that button there. And what that does is, you can see that it gives us the spaces. We can see the spaces are these little dots here. So one dot means one space. Now let's just zoom in a bit, okay? Just so we can see those. See, dot, dot, dot. Now we can see there's some errors there with spacing, but 3 spaces there. You see anything else now? Space there. Okay. The final thing you need to do after you've done that is look at the trapped white space. And on here there isn't any trapped white space that we can see. But, however, on some documents you'll get it, and you'll get that the text is stretched out. So it's stretched out too far. So it looks a bit funny. So we need to get rid of that. Now, if I were you, what I would also do with this is I would align it like that, just because then it looks a bit better. So after you've done that and you've done your track changes, what you're going to do is you're going to do File Save As, and you're going to save this as wherever you're going to save it, in whichever folder, and you're going to give it the name of First Draft with changes. No, you're not actually. Yeah, you are, yeah. You're going to give this a name as First Draft with changes marked on it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to go up to Tools, you're going to go to Track Changes. You're going to go Accept or Reject Changes. And you're going to go through these and accept the ones that you want to keep. And all you do is click Accept. Go through them all. When you've done that, you're going to go File Save As important, and save this as a second draft. And that's your text already done. Also remember, sorry, one more thing. When you're doing the text, that on this you might want to add content. So you might say that in here there isn't enough information in here about the main issues regarding teenagers. So you might want to type in some more things. So you know that we need to include some more content in these, and when you add the content you'll see that it adds it here. So you need to add more content if you need to. Okay.